Cool. Awesome. Well, welcome to the Roofing It podcast, everybody. I am your host, Armando J. Cox, and here on Roofing It, we interview some of the greatest minds in the roofing industry. And today, I'm joined by Joseph Hughes. Joseph, thank you for being here.
I'm honored to be here, man. This is such a cool studio, and it's my pleasure.
Appreciate it, man. Absolutely. It's great to have you. And yeah, thank you for being honored. It's a very nice thing to say. So, yeah, Joe, let's get into it. Why are you here in Colorado? Because you're from New Jersey, right?
I came here to kick off a new client relationship. They're getting involved in our training program, and he wanted to kick things off in person with his team up in Fort Collins. And so planned the trip around that and figured while I'm out here, why not hit you up and set up some other meetings with some other clients and friends in the industry. And so it's a jam-packed couple days, and yeah, it's been awesome.
Yeah, I bet you've done a lot. So we appreciate your patronage at the Media Lab. We're excited to get a video done for you, and I know they kind of were really working hard on it yesterday, and we're excited to kind of do this as well. I'm going to go with you guys to the airport. I'm going to get a little footage myself.
Okay.
I'm traveling and stuff.
All right.
And and then we're all going to drive back together. So yeah, that'll be cool. But yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, tell us a little bit about like what. So we know you do Facebook marketing, and you're a consultant. You have the Contractor Dynamics, which is a consulting firm to help contractors get their online presence on Facebook specifically, right?
Yeah, so I think we're really good at putting out a lot of content, but not maybe so good at letting people know exactly what we do and how we work with roofing companies. And so we're a training company. We do not run ads for our clients. We train our clients on how to run content, how to build their brand, how to run ads, how to basically build a marketing machine inside their roofing company. And we focus on social media advertising as kind of the entry point to that. So our kind of flagship program is a 10-week program called Facebook Ads Mastery, where it's pretty self-explanatory. We take them from scratch, from step 0 all the way through to mastery. And then beyond that, for those that want some more advanced training on some other topics, we do have the full university built out: Google Ads, Google Maps, SEO, LinkedIn, sales team training, and things like that. So you kind of like come from a digital marketing background, right? Can you tell us a little bit about like how you kind of got into, like, it was an evolution to land where you are now, right? Because you kind of started in digital marketing in general, or even before that. Like, I don't really know what you did before digital marketing. Like, oh, okay.
You're kind of like my generation. You're like in your mid 30s, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm 40 actually.
You're 40.
Yeah, okay, I know I look good. Yeah.
You look very young, dude. So like that's a good like 20 years from when you're 20 to now, and you've only been doing Contractor Dynamics for the last 5 years or something like that.
8 years.
8 years?
Yeah, going on 9 actually.
Damn, really? I didn't realize it was that long.
Yeah.
So
still scratching the surface though,
Really crazy, dude. So yeah, what was it like? Like, so you went to college, right? You like got a degree in BA, I'm guessing, something like that.
Yeah, degree in finance and information systems. So, kind of geeky. Yeah, so I grew up in my family's construction business, and I started when I was 14 out in New Jersey and New York City, and just out in the shipyard, out in the job site, learning a lot of skills in the summers, in high school and college and everything. So got a good education there. I'm 6th generation family member in the family business, started in 1894.
Wow.
So I was grateful to have that opportunity. After graduating college,
Some old money.
Yeah. Blue collar stuff, man.
Was it really?
Simple blue collar.
Wow.
Barges and tugboats and marine transportation and big heavy equipment.
That's some hard work.
Yeah, man.
Right? Your family can work hard. Like,
yeah,
real, like laborious.
Oh yeah,
work, right?
definitely have that, and grateful. It was tough out there in the hot summers and cold winters out in the shipyard in Brooklyn, New York. At the time, wasn't always fun, but looking back on it,
that sounds like it sucks, bro.
All right, it sucked
during the summer.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So your friends were out playing Little League. I'm sure you played Little League, but you're out there in the summertime, like working on the barge boat and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
really.
And then a lot of my friends did it with me, so we had some fun. But looking back on those days, I mean, definitely learned work ethic, and that was awesome. And then after
you're kind of a machine, bro. Like I feel like I see you every time I go into it. You're like, there's something with you there. Like you post every single day, right?
I try to, yeah.
Okay,
But
okay.
today I don't think I have yet because I'm traveling, but that's the secret is consistency. And
Yeah.
like everyone's looking for the magic bullet, the push button marketing.
Yeah.
And it's really about showing up every day and being consistent. So,
wow.
that's
So
what it
then
takes.
what happened after that? You quit, or you not quit, but you found the family business wasn't what were passionate about, what you wanted to do. And somehow along the line, someone taught you at some point, like, do what you love, do what you're passionate about. I'm guessing here. Am I right?
Yeah. So after graduating college, I worked in the office for Hughes Marine, the family business, for 9 years.
Oh, wow.
Learned a lot of different things. It was, pretty small business, I guess maybe 30 people or so. And just got to learn a whole bunch about business, everything from finance to insurance to HR to, everything.
Wow.
2012, I just kind of had the entrepreneurial bug, started reading books. Tim Ferriss was one of the original kind of seeds planted in the brain.
Was something sparked that bug? Did something spark that interest in entrepreneurship?
Yeah, it was just, having some flexibility in terms of your schedule and time, being able to travel and being location independent. That was appealing.
Okay.
And so just
being your own boss was important to you at that point?
yeah. And, as much as it was awesome being a part of the family biz, it was, it's a very conservatively run company and that's why they've been in business for 127 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But I just kind of had that entrepreneurial bug. And for those listening or watching, like, you'll know what I mean, right? You just want to try something out on your own. And that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah. Gotcha. And so, you started reading, the 4-hour work day,
Yeah.
4-hour work week.
2007. That was like kind of, I think that's when that came out, picked it up and took a few years. I'm a slow study. I'm more like the tortoise and not the hare, but I get there eventually. So
interesting. Because I'm sure people are seeing what you're doing and they're like, oh, all of a sudden, overnight success type thing with like how hard it's with contractor dynamics. But I mean, I don't really look at it that way, but I definitely didn't realize that you're going on 9 years with it.
Yeah.
That's pretty nuts. So yeah. And then, so then you kind of got into digital marketing. As out of all the things you were learning about with entrepreneurship through those books, that's where you thought there was a future in.
Yeah. I mean, I just had a passion for marketing and looking at growing up in the construction industry, seeing the gap there. Like most of the industry is a few years behind the times when it comes to marketing, innovation, software, technology, and things like that. So I saw that gap and wanted to kind of, build a company to help companies close that gap and build their brands and do marketing and innovate. So that's how that was formed.
And is that when you started wearing the polo with Contractor Dynamics on it?
Do I wear it that much? I have more than one. I just want to let everyone know that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You kind of look like a roofer, right? Was that intentional?
So yeah, it was.
Okay.
You want to kind of, look like your market in some aspect.
For
so
sure.
It depends where I am. Sometimes I'll do logo, and more often than not these days I've been doing the non-logo, a little more maybe polished look, but it's intentional for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You're really good about your branding and always wearing the logo and always wearing the collar shirt, looking kind of like a roofer, like a roofing salesman, and I bet roofing company owners really like that because they see some of themselves in you, and that's kind of what you want in marketing, right? You want the client to kind of see some of themselves in you. Would you agree with that or disagree, or what's your feeling about that?
Yeah, I think so. And vice versa. I see a lot of our clients are similar in age, like yourself or other roofing company owners, building families, building businesses, trying to manage it all, trying to optimize different areas of your life and live a great life and build a great business. And that's what's really exciting to me, right? Working with our peers and that's a big reason why I love what we do.
Yeah. So like you, and just so the audience knows here, like I am a client, I guess. I still have Contractor Dynamics. I jump on some calls here and there.
Yeah. We didn't kick you out yet.
Yeah. You didn't kick us out yet. Thank you. And I have to say it was very useful. Like, oh my gosh, I don't know if you probably don't remember this, but I went on, I didn't realize that I had a business manager, and I had to get it set up. I thought boosting posts was like pretty much all you could do.
Oh, we're talking about Facebook Business Manager. Yeah. I mean, that's most people are like, oh yeah, I've been doing Facebook ads and they suck. They don't work. And then we find out they've just been boosting posts, while they're riding down the highway and, they're like wondering why it didn't work.
You just clicked that boost post thing.
Yeah, they make it easy.
Yeah, and so we got on the call. I was like, hey, and you were like, well, we'll go in your business manager. I'm like, what? And then you're like, business manager. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You're like, you don't have business manager set up? I'm like, no. He's like, oh, okay. Let's go back. Let's go in here. And you walked me through it. And I remember like getting it. And I was like, holy shit, you can do all this. And then you're like, yeah, it's like seeing in colors.
We do that every week. We walk people through that. It's just a common thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. But before Contractor Dynamics started as General Digital Agency, is that right? Working with all small businesses, is that right?
Yeah, so we worked with all sorts of construction companies, from commercial, residential, industrial, doesn't matter.
But the very inception, it wasn't like that, right? You're working with everybody, is that right?
Oh, so the first 6 months.
Yeah.
This is 2012, July through, I would say, December.
You quit your job with your parent, with your family.
Yep.
They weren't happy about that, I'm guessing, right?
No, they were. I mean,
really?
They weren't happy, but they were happy for me that now that I have kids, will realize that, you just want your kids to be happy and to live their lives and to follow their path. And it was the hardest conversation I've had ever. And I built that up, and I'm like, man, how am I going to tell my dad? Like, I'm quitting it's like leaving the mob. You don't do it, right?
Yeah.
But I have cousins who are going to take over
I heard shipping had some mob ties, actually.
Oh yeah, New Jersey and New York. Yeah, forget about it. Yeah.
So then you had that conversation that was really hard. They were like, okay, bittersweet for them. They see, our son sort of leaving the nest type thing, right?
Yeah.
And then you kind of like launched, you incorporated your company, you kind of started down that process, right?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't really have I made this business plan, and, I thought that everything would go according to the plan that I had outlined in my Word document. And of course it didn't, right?
Yeah.
So the first 6 months were just small local businesses. Just, you need a website, you need Facebook ads, you need this, that, and the other thing. And after 6 months, I realized that being a generalist and trying to work with so many different types of companies, it's just really difficult. And I wasn't able to provide a ton of value because, you're working with an accountant one day and a restaurant the next day and a contractor the next day. And there's so many moving parts.
Yeah.
So I actually went through a business incubator in January 2013 at my co-working space. They had someone come in for 6 weeks. And
was it WeWork?
No, it's called CoWorks down Jersey Shore, small. Okay. It was before WeWork, actually.
Okay.
But they had someone come down from New York City for 6 weeks, and we went through this incubator, and it was like, build a business. And I was like, well, this is the time to kind of pivot from being a generalist to doing this Contractor Dynamics thing. I already had the domain. It was just...
What was the name prior to Contractor Dynamics?
Dynamic Design Group, which is actually still the registered LLC.
Really? But it was just you. Who's the group?
So when I started,
this
is great. Oh man, we're going back. Yeah. So it was me and a full-time employee in the Philippines named J.U. Guarino.
Okay.
And so I would sell, a website to a local business for X.
Right.
I'd ping J.U. and be like, dude, build this website, send it back to me,
Nice. Yeah.
Contractor, subcontractor model. And that was us for 6 months.
His name was J.U.
Yep.
Can I get his number?
Yeah. Actually,
that's awesome, man.
I mean, that we were
just cranking out websites.
Yeah, we were a team, man. It was
cool.
Good dude, and that was it. For the first few months.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And so you went through the incubator. You kind of saw, okay, niching is the way to go here. Let's rebrand. So you went through a rebranding. Is that right?
Yeah, built a new website, the rebrand, and then we said, from now on, we're just going to focus on meaning me. I'm just going to focus on contractors and really make a go of this thing.
That's really cool. And was it roofing contractors back then or at first, or just any sort of home improvement person?
Yeah, it's mostly local, just home improvement, some commercial, but mostly residential. And so
plumbers, electricians, HVAC, roofers, handyman, whatever. If
anything, yeah.
Okay, but you had to be in home improvement. Were you turning away people who were who we might have been interested in, or?
No, I don't think so. I mean, at that point, it's like, you have money, you want to give me money, I'll figure out a service to provide for you. And that's how we got our first 2 clients, actually, just asking them what they needed. And I used to host these meetups, and I formed this group called Build New Jersey, and just used to host these meetups and basically just ask people what kind of help they needed.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's how that started.
And so you kind of, man, that's like super grassroots.
Yeah. I mean, so it's like, yeah, you can start a company and you go to these networking groups and kind of, be one of many, right? Get a seat, try to get the seat at the table.
Okay.
I don't know where I read it, but I forget who it was, but it was like build your own like table, and invite people to that.
Yeah.
So I built a community on Facebook. I built a website for it, a local directory for Jersey Shore contractors.
Okay.
And I used to host these meetups. Friday morning, Green Planet Coffee Shop, 7 a.m. Meet up there, coffee and bagels, whatever. It's on me. And really, I didn't have anything I didn't even know what I was doing. I didn't have anything to sell. So I wasn't pitching. It was basically me just facilitating this meetup. And you have like the remodeling guy talking to the architect, talking to the roofer, and they were forming these valuable relationships. And I was the one just facilitating. So I had some value because I was bringing everyone together.
Yeah.
And then I started, there were a couple guys were like, so what do you do? And I'm like, well, I don't what do you need? And so one guy, Neil, needed a website. Another guy, Nick, who's still a client today, needed everything. And that was it. That's how we got started.
And did you have some like seed money? Were you saving money while you were working with your family and stuff? Or you were just kind of started with like almost nothing?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much almost nothing.
Okay.
Had some savings, but it's one of those businesses where it was low overhead, out of the basement, literally.
Yeah.
And hiring a full-time employee in the Philippines, and very little overhead, and it was pretty much I don't want to say profitable, but we were breaking even from day one. So
that's cool.
It's a business model that doesn't require a lot of capital, to start up.
Yeah, for sure. And so, so you kind of did that for a while, you did the grind for a while, and then you started kind of like coming across, okay, Facebook is the way to go here. I mean, you went all in on Facebook basically, right? You ditched doing websites, you ditched doing like brand development, logo design, graphic design. You just forgot about all that. You said, let's just go straight training and we're done doing websites for people. Is that right?
It happened more slowly than that. So like from 2013 through 19, we ran the full service agency where websites, logo, brand, blogging, Facebook ads, Google ads, the whole thing.
SEO.
Yeah, a lot of SEO. That's how actually we built our business nationally is SEO.
Okay. Video production.
What's that?
You don't want to mess with video, I bet.
It was like kind of before, the Gary V's of the world. So video was like kind of this thing that you needed to have a, video company to do.
Yeah, for sure.
It wasn't as accessible as it is now.
Yeah.
So it was blog posts and, SEO optimized blog posts. And that's how we built our brand and ran the full service agency through 2019. Okay. And then we transitioned over into training from there.
Gotcha. Yeah. Cause I feel like I feel like the training I was surprised 9 years because it hasn't been 9 years of training. No. Right. So that makes more sense now because I'm like, okay, because it's been since 2019 you went kind of full into training and I started hearing more about training. Yeah. I had even attended the thing in Dallas, to see if you're like the real deal and stuff. And I found out you were, so that was cool. But moving into contractor dynamics, I mean, I do have like a perspective on that. And part of it is that like, I do feel like I wasn't ready when I was like really small, like making less than like $1 million in revenue. I was ready to like jump into your program because I was just so busy wearing every hat in the company that to put this hat on as well was just like too overwhelmed. I was already overwhelmed. I was in an overwhelmed state. Yes. So I wanted to learn more about what you had going on, but I kind of figured it's going to take more time. So I was waiting till I could hire someone to help me with that. And so, and that's what I did. The following year I was able to build it up where I could hire somebody and to help me with the, with the Contractor Dynamics program. What's your perspective on that now? Like, what is the best thing for a contractor to do? If they're $1 million and under wearing all the hats, should they come onto your program or should they wait? Or is the sort of thing just if you feel ready, go for it. If you don't, wait. Like, what's your perspective on that?
Yeah, I totally get what you're talking about. We've experienced a lot of that where it's the owner operator at the beginning, like there's, working 16 hours a day. And then we're asking them to show up to our training calls and learn how to run Facebook ads and it's a lot. So we do have some startups that want to do things right from day one. Those are mostly owners who are kind of marketing minded. They might have a marketing background. So they kind of have some foundation there, right? They're not starting from scratch. So I would say those people would be the exception. We work with companies from under $1 million to $100 million companies and everywhere in between. And I would say what's common across the board as far as companies that do really well with not just our program, but building out a marketing system in-house, they have someone besides the owner that is in charge of marketing.
So a marketing manager,
business development person, sometimes maybe an office admin who's kind of splitting roles, not recommended. But yeah, a marketing person in-house who is in charge of marketing.
Gotcha. Yeah, that does make sense. I started out with he was an office assistant, and then he actually started as a canvasser and then moved into office assistant because he had like more technical skills. And I was like, let's get him helping us running our ads. And, but even he wasn't really passionate about it. And then we kind of moved on to having other people who kind of focus on digital marketing, and it's been better. I think we've seen an improvement. And it's been really great just to know that we can like shoot ads anywhere we want into a gated community, into neighborhoods that have some damage. When we're selling a job, we'll run a couple ads in that area for a couple of weeks. They're seeing our trucks, they're seeing our ads, they see us knock on their door, we get the deal. I have to say though, YouTube marketing has actually been worked really well for us too.
Oh, great.
Yeah, we made a video that went viral in this one neighborhood. We did like that whole neighborhood over in Aurora, Colorado. And everyone was saying, yeah, we saw your video because we dropped an ad within like 1 mile radius.
Awesome.
That video ad on YouTube. And like, yeah, we got so many views, and then people were just commenting left and right, every time they'd see us. So
that's awesome. That's what you want.
Great.
Yeah.
It was really great. Yeah, definitely. So, so yeah, man, well, that's really cool. So what's going on now then? So you're kind of like, are you branching out a bit now? You're doing a little more traveling, a little more on-site consulting, it seems like. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, so it's everything we do is virtual, or pretty much everything we do is virtual. We have clients, in 40 states, which is awesome.
Yeah.
There is definitely an element of the face-to-face that helps. And so, yeah, I'm looking to do a little bit more of the on-site. I don't want to travel a ton. I have 2 young kids, family, and
right.
Especially during the summer, we live at the beach, so don't really want to leave the beach.
Nice.
But yeah, so this company, Pride Roofing up in Loveland, Colorado, it's like, hey, I want to get into your program, but I want you to come out and I want you to create some buy-in from our entire team, right? So
sort of a kickoff.
A kickoff, exactly.
Okay.
So like when we tell them, hey, or ask them, hey, go do a video or get a picture of this job, they're not like, oh man, I just need to get a video because the marketing department wants it, and they're resenting that.
Yeah.
Now they understand, oh, I need to get a video because it's going to help in this campaign. It's going to help us get on more roofs and make more money. So that was really smart of Chris, the business owner, to suggest that.
It is, dude. It's brilliant actually, because we still struggle to that, even though we have a good social media, a pretty active like group. I was just so tired of like these guys like having to like, post, picture, video, and like pull out your drone, give them a drone, and they don't even use it, and it's just kind of like, it was very frustrating. So I got to the point where we're just like, okay, hey, guess what? We're going to go ahead and take over your Facebooks. Okay. So yeah, you're getting a new Facebook, by the way, and branded with, we're going to brand it for you. We're going to do everything. And we basically now manage our guys' Facebook.
Wow.
Yeah. And we post for them. And the one that really made a good difference was our business development guy. Okay. Because he was friending like insurance agents.
Oh yeah.
And then like, we were having him post regularly using his words.
Okay.
We were kind of like, pretending like we were him.
Right.
And, obviously he had like, full knowledge of it. He's like, yeah, we're like, what'd you do today? And he's like, oh, well, I went over here, went over there. And like, okay, cool. Anything interesting happen? And they're like, yeah, I went to this, I had a hot dog or whatever. And we're like, oh, so here's Doug, went to the, stopped by, had a hot dog at the Rockies too or something. And then he gets some pretty decent engagement, dude. It was pretty interesting. So that's kind of how we just took it over, man. So like, but I know the ideal way is to do like what sounds like that roofing company owner is doing, which is, what you advise as well, is create a culture of social media sort of like activity within the company. It's a culture of social media, right?
Yeah, it comes from the company, like centralized kind of marketing campaigns from the company, but then you have all your little tentacles out there, your sales reps, your account managers posting as well, all in alignment with like some brand guidelines, right? So you don't have people out there representing the company in ways that you don't want your brand being represented. So and getting buy-in, because sales reps want to make a sale, right? They want to make $1 today. Well, marketing is about making a sale tomorrow and the day after that. So there's a buy-in that's necessary to say, hey, I'm going to trust this process. And Chris, the owner, wanted them to hear it from someone other than him.
Yeah.
It's from me, an outsider. So
that's really cool.
So yeah, well, that's just the kickoff. We'll have to keep that momentum going, but I'm pretty sure we will. Yeah,
man, that's really cool. So yeah, and like, so you're being sort of selective about the travel, and it sounds like you are available. If it works, if it's a good fit, if it works out, type thing. We're excited to kind of get some video of you at the airport and stuff like that, and try to make one of those Gary V type hype videos. So that'll be really fun. But cool. I guess we're gonna kind of call it a day here. It was really great having you, Joe. Thank you so much for stopping by, being on the show, and I think. I'm excited to keep watching how you grow, and helping out in any way we possibly can.
Yeah. Thanks so much for having me. And it's awesome to see you guys, your office here, Foothills and Media Lab and podcast, and got a big vision, man. It's cool to watch it. So.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. It's been, man, lately it's been tough because hail hasn't hit Denver for a while.
Yeah,
so
don't be one of those complaining about no hail.
I should just quit while I'm ahead, right? Yeah. So, anyways, thank you so much again, Joe, and we will, we'll see you next time you're in Colorado.
Sounds good, brother. Thank you.
All right.